everybody, and thanks everyone for having us today. I am actually going to utilize the chat feature too because I see everyone was really active on it. So I'm Michelle. I'm from ANEW. ANEW offers free training for people that are interested in getting into construction careers. Really I'm going to ask people that are on the Zoom call, how much do you think construction workers make an hour? Just throw it in the chat box here.
We almost got all the way through. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's good. Okay.
We'll give everyone a minute. 25, 25, 24, 24. Seeing some 20s, 30s. All right, I'm actually very surprised. People have been doing some research here. So yes, we're going to talk about construction apprenticeships. An apprenticeship is a job. It's just a different type of job because you're actually learning about a different trade or skill to be able to work on a job site and be in a different trade. So whether you're an electrician or as you can see on this slide, if you're a cement mason who's laying out the concrete for the different floors of a building, or if you're a plasterer and you're plastering walls of buildings, there's a lot of different trades working together. So what it looks like coming into a career in construction where ANEW helps people is down at the bottom of this little staircase here with pre-apprenticeship. A pre-apprenticeship comes before an apprenticeship, so it helps you get ready and helps you get certain skills to go into that job. A lot of people, after they graduate from their apprenticeship, or as it's called, journey out, they become a foreman or a superintendent, so they actually run whole job sites on their own. And then a lot of people end up owning their own businesses or being a project manager or an architect, meaning you actually design the buildings that are being built in Seattle. You guys were really good at hitting the nail on the head, no pun intended, with what construction apprentices make. So the range in the city of Seattle, and maybe you guys got some materials ahead of time here, I'm not sure, but the range is anywhere from $20 to $34 an hour to start. So this is what you would make your first day as an apprentice. Keep in mind, I mean, apprentices also are paid weekly, so you could be making anywhere from $800 to $1,300 a week, which is a great career, a great opportunity, especially if you've just turned 18 and you're looking to get into a lifelong career. So what we offer at ANEW, our training program is free, like Jody mentioned. It is unpaid, but our whole goal is to get you into a paid apprenticeship starting at these wages right here by the end of the 11 weeks. We have two different locations. We have a South Training Center in Kent. That's an 11-week program, 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, with week 1 being Monday through Friday. And then we also have our North training facility called PACE, and that's about 10 minutes east of Lake City. So White Center kind of being right in the middle of that, you have some options there. 11 weeks, 3 days a week. Also, we just have this 2 different programs with 2 different names because they're in 2 different locations. The class hours are early, but again, 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. is the type of construction schedule that you would be working once you become an apprentice. And no previous training is required, so if you've never picked up a hammer in your life, don't worry. These are the kind of skills that we teach you and get you ready to be successful in that job. The reason why many would come into an apprenticeship before going and applying straight to an apprenticeship is they look for certain skills, certain certifications. They want to make sure you have a resume with some different contacts and experience that you have, so we help out with all of that. Some program training requirements that we do have: you have to be able to pass a drug test, even marijuana, even though it's legal in the state of Washington. We do a drug test because of safety on a job site. You're going to be using power tools, heavy equipment, things like that, and we just want to make sure everyone's safe. It says 18 or older on the slide. However, you can come into our program if you're 17 and turning 18. As long as you're turning 18 after the 11 weeks, we can get you set up with everything you need. We also need you to have a GED or high school diploma. However, if you don't have that, we work with organizations that can help you get that by the time the 11 weeks is over. And same with a driver's license. If you don't have a license, we work with 2 different organizations that can help you get that along the way. So that's not a requirement to start, it's just a requirement to get an apprenticeship after you're done with our free training program. You need to be able to like physical fitness, because we do workouts every day. We want you to know that construction is a lot of physical movement. It's not sitting at a desk. It's not sitting in a classroom. You're going to be using your hands, building things, and getting stronger as you go along. And then we do have a tryout day that's usually about 2 weeks before our class date starts, and I'll share our next classes here in a bit. So what do we do during the 11 weeks besides physical fitness? We visit working construction sites. Right now, we actually have a lot of the construction sites presenting virtually to the class because they can't go on some of these field trips because of restrictions for COVID. And we also have apprenticeships either come to us or you go to the apprenticeships and learn about all the different trades. So the slide I showed earlier with electricians, iron workers, plumbers, laborers, cement masons, you'll learn about all the different types of trades. So if you have no idea about anything having to do with construction, don't worry. We teach you about all the different trades so you can make the best decision for you of which trade or which direction you want to go into. This is a picture of our class from last week, actually. So we have been approved to keep running classes. We're allowed as a workforce development program. We actually sit all of our students 6 feet apart in the classroom, and when they're doing their shop activities, everyone's wearing a mask, as you can see in this photo. Everyone is spaced apart, and safety is our #1 priority. So we want to make sure that that everyone's abiding by these guidelines so we can keep having classes. Our upcoming classes that we're enrolling for now in our Seattle location, we are enrolling for an all gender class, so anyone is welcome to join that. That's going to be starting on Monday, August 24th. We'll have tryout dates announced actually on our website next week. And we'll have our women and those who identify as class starting in Kent a week later on August 31st. So I'll show you in a second here how to get signed up. You go to our website and we have information sessions that you can attend and learn more about how to enroll in our programs. The presentation's about 15 minutes. We actually have virtual info sessions twice a week, and we also have a recorded info session. So if you don't have time to join live, you can watch the video on your own time and then join after that. But please follow us we're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. That's new. It's all the rage these days. So check us out on there. We have some videos, and our website's on here, and I'm happy to answer any questions. But thanks for joining us today.
All right, Michelle, we do have a couple of questions.
Let's see.
So someone asked if you could review if you're a minor, and I know you had talked about that. If you could just review the process that of how you could participate if you're still 17.
Yeah, so if you're 17 and turning 18, we just have to know when your birthday is, and reason being is you can certainly join the class when you're 17, but let's say you just turned 17. Some of the certifications that you get in our class, you can't get until you're an adult of age, and you can't get into apprenticeships until you turn 18. So you can do all the preparation and apply right when you turn 18 and get into any apprenticeship that you want. But we make sure that you're turning 18 in the near future.
Okay. Debbie has a really good question. Will the presentation from today be sent out at the end of this fair? Jody, yeah. If you could help me with this, we don't actually have the presentations from the employers. What we have is all of their information. So Debbie, to answer your question, we have their name of the people you met today, their phone, email, their direct line, so you can contact them directly and ask your questions.
I can also send this to Jody.
To Jody, okay.
Yeah.
We both have the name Jody, so
I know.
sometimes we've called Jody Jojo. So Jojo, had you talked to anyone about using or getting a copy of their presentations? She might be muted too. So Debbie, what I can tell you right now is that we'll look into that, but these are the presentations that came with the employers, but we do have that attached to download is all of their contact information. So you can contact them directly and ask more questions, or even potentially ask them to send you the PowerPoint if they're willing to.
Jody, I do have them, and I can send all the presentations to you. Michelle can send it to me, and I can send it on.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So Debbie, you can contact Jonathan from the Log Cabin. That was the very first presentation from the resources, and we'll get you a copy of that presentation that you were interested in. Okay. All right. Ramiro, you have a really good point. It's too far for me. You're right. We do really look for an opportunity that's one bus right away. But if this is a chance to get into the trades and to learn about the opportunities, and so you have to decide if it's worth potentially a transfer, or maybe for that North one, even more than one transfer. We'd have to look into it, which I'm willing to do, to see if the Kent one, if we can get there with one bus, or potentially transfer 2 buses, but I know the North one may be too far. So that is a good point.
And I'll mention this too, if I can, really quick.
Yes.
ANEW has support services, so we work with the students in our class. Jody actually used to be a member of our team. Jojo, I should say, used to be a member of our team at ANEW, and she
I'd
helped.
be happy to be a part.
Yeah, so we help. We take a look at people's income and their situations, and we may be able to help with a bus pass or a gas card and transportation to get students to our class. So that's something we also review with each person coming into the training.
Okay, really good point. So for the amazing young person that asked that question, if that would support, contact Michelle and see if that could help problem solve. Okay, Pat had a question. Michelle, are post-program apprenticeship positions still happening with COVID restrictions?
Yes, it's slowed down apprenticeships quite a bit. I know some are still closed to turn in applications for apprenticeships. Some have started opening back up. The laborers have been pretty active getting people back in, because construction all of a sudden went from shut down to ramp up to 100. So they're opening up slowly but surely. So we expect by the end, especially of this class that's going right now, everyone will be able to apply and get into work fairly quickly. But yeah, that's a great question, because it did slow it down quite a bit.
Okay, just want to let everyone know Jonathan is downloading the attached document now with the ability, with all the ways to contact all of those employers. So it's working with our internet system to download. It's going a little bit slow, but he's working on it right now. So I know folks are already looking for that document. I thought, someone asked about the 2 locations again.
Yeah, I'll reshare my screen here. Let me go back and get that address for you.
Because, yes. Oh, you did answer it. Okay, sorry, you already answered it. Great photo, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, there are the 2 addresses, and we'll get this out to everyone, and our flyer, which has this information.
Yeah, I need to check on that Kent address, but potentially that address may be just one transfer from White Center.
That has a pretty close bus line. It's the Seattle one that I think is a couple of transfers.
Yeah, that would in North Seattle, it looks like, Northeast, yeah.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Yes.